gracious me!
Don't gamble with FIFA points. Head straight to the source at u7buy.com, and if you use the code TVM at the checkout, you get yourself a discount. Link in the description. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video. I've got a really weird background situation going on at the moment. Just to get that out of the way, it's a green screen. I know, why aren't you just using the green screen? It's difficult. I can't do things post-com. My editing software is awful. Anyway, today we are going to talk about that new patch, the update, the whatever it is. It's meant to make gameplay feel smoother, more responsive. Is that something that they're just saying and they've done nothing and they're expecting people to go, yeah, I can feel it? Well, I've played a few games. I needed to play games in Rivals to get my rank for rewards, right? Because I'm not playing Weekend League right now, but it does count for Division Rivals and Foot Champions. So if you've been playing it, feel free to let me know in the comments how you think the gameplay has been this week. Now, it's a little bit different for me, I'm not going to lie to you, because I play on PC. So my gameplay, I'm not going to lie, does tend to feel smoother anyway. Like if I go on console, the menus feel like they're super delayed and the gameplay is quite bad. Now, compared to PC, because I think it's down to server load. So on PC there are less people playing, so the servers are not loaded. Essentially, they're a lot quicker. Menus are like lightning. I love it, and that's one of the reasons why I play on PC. Now that, together with, of course, that they're just more powerful machines, so they can process things quicker. But in terms of gameplay, yeah, you get lag here or there, of course you do, but it's never been that bad. Although in the back end of this cycle of FIFA, I have noticed, and I've complained about it a lot, that I've been getting worse and worse gameplay. It's felt really like slow and sluggish. You've got players like Ronaldo and Foot Birthday Bale and all the rest of it, you know, like Prime Moments, Socrates and things, who just take ages to turn around. I mean, they are super, super slow. Players with like 99 agility and 99 reactions just taking ages to do a drag back. So does this update change anything? I've played a few games. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I've played 27 games and I've gone through it extensively, comparing my gameplay, blah, blah, blah. I've got pie charts out. No, none of that nonsense. I've basically played about 6 games. And general consensus is, yes, it does feel smoother. However, there are so few people playing this game right now that it may just be down to the fact that nobody's playing it and the servers have like 4 people on them, and that's why it feels smooth. So for me, it's clever. It's clever by EA standards, really, that they've released it now because they want to get some general feedback and they want to look at the data and check the numbers before they implement this into FIFA 20, because they don't want FIFA 20 coming out and it being just like it doesn't work, like literally doesn't work, as opposed to this gameplay feels bad. No, it actually just doesn't work. So they're testing it here, which is good. I like that, because they know that this game is pretty much ruined anyway, so there's no way they can make it worse. But I think it's a positive step in the right direction. I think that what they need to do ultimately is to, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it. I'm not a server engineer. I don't know what they need to do in sort of technological terms, but I would like them to add more servers and just get better servers. I know it's like such a cliche, fix your servers, but essentially that's all they need to do, because I feel like half the time, you know, when you pass and it doesn't go anywhere near where you want it to, ultimately what happens is the gameplay is delayed. So when you pass it somewhere and it's not gone where you've wanted it to go, ultimately it does kind of come down to you, and it's your fault, because the servers are so slow and sluggish that when you make the pass, you're instantly thinking, right, I've made that pass now, that's been sent, that's gone, that's a command that is in the cloud, that's happening, right? Now I want to focus on what I'm going to do when the receiver has the ball. So you're instantly then going, right, now I'm going to move to the left because that's what I want this player to do. In actual fact, what's happened is that you've pressed A and you've sent that with the direction you were aiming. The game is still processing that once your brain's too fast. Your brain's gone ahead of the server, and unfortunately it hasn't received your first command. So where you're pressing now forward running with the receiver, he still hasn't had the ball. The player hasn't actually passed the ball yet, and now the game thinks you want to pass to the left instead of to the right because you're automatically thinking of the next move. So I think I would say 9 times out of 10, that's why passes go awry. And I can vouch for that because it happens to me all the time. I blame the game because it is the game's fault. But then on the other hand, I'm aware of it happening. So why don't I make sure that the ball is going the direction I want it to go in before I start moving my player? It's because it's muscle memory. Because offline you don't have that problem. So online, you kind of just, I don't know, it's just, it just, that's what you do. I'm passing the ball, I'm already running. Too late, because the game hasn't registered. I've just kicked the ball nowhere. It happens to me all the time. Now, since the update, have I noticed that change? Maybe a little bit. But like I said, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, because you can't rely on this information and your experience with it now, because there are not that many people playing the game compared to what there were a month ago, 2 months ago. So the real test will be in FIFA 20. There's not going to be a real test in FIFA 19. This is essentially a soft launch of a feature that they're going to implement in the next iteration of the game. Which, like I said, I like it. It's a good move because it means that if there are any bugs and any big sort of striking bugs that they can fix before it goes into FIFA 20, happy days. We can eradicate them before we have massive meltdowns first weekend league where the servers are overloaded and passes are not going anywhere, nothing's working, and then EA are like, do you know what? Yeah, we need to fix this. They won't admit that they're at fault, of course. It would be us, but still. Like in the entire pitch notes, the only thing that they really they say something and then they basically spout the same thing again, but they've worded it differently. It is literally the same thing over and over again. It does say in there somewhere, though, and I'd love to be able to find it. It does say that you may not... I can't find it. Really irritating, but it did say in there, and I remember reading it thinking, this is hilarious, that you may not see a difference at all, because it depends on your internet connection. Now, they've not said whether you may not feel a difference at all because your internet is so good that it doesn't really apply to you. What they've done is they've gone out and tried to help people with bad internet connections, or whether it's the flip side of the coin and they've not tried to help people with bad internet connections and they're trying to help people with good internet connections because the connection's better and they can work with that. They've not said either way, but it does say in there somewhere that you may not feel a difference based on your internet connection. And it's really frustrating that I can't find it exactly to quote it, but I know there's pitch notes is like quite long, so it's in there somewhere, trust me. But unfortunately, I can't find where it is because otherwise I'd have to stop, read it, and we'd be here for days. But just trust me, that is in there because I laughed when I read it. Now I've got good internet connection. Okay, I don't have the best, but I never have a problem. I can like stream and upload a video at the same time, and it's not an issue. You know, I can watch Netflix, stream, upload all at the same time. It's fine. And yeah, I suppose in a way it is smoother. But like I said, we can't really read too much into it. There is a section here that says looking forward. Of course, this is all about FIFA 20, and it's essentially the whole thing reworded, but for FIFA 20. They also say that they have the ability to disable the feature at any time without having to issue an update. So I think the update was, 2 gig or something to get that in, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that, because like I said, my internet's fine. It took like 2 seconds to download anyway. But it's interesting that they can just switch that off whenever they want. So is that possible for other things as well? That made me curious. You know, like when people say EA have changed something, and then all the people come out who have had a good weekend or something will go, well, they can't have changed anything because there's been no update. Well, they can turn this feature on and off whenever they want. So does that mean they can turn anything off whenever they want? They can, you know, adjust pack weight. They can do the sliders in game so that your players feel really sluggish from game to game and things like that. Like, is it possible for them to turn and modify timed finishing and things without doing an update? And for no one knowing that if they've changed anything? That's an interesting topic of discussion, and I would love to know the answer. Unfortunately, We'll never know the answer to that because they're never going to admit it. But if they can adjust things like that, surely it means they can adjust other things as well. That's just my 2 cents. But that's all I'm going to throw down for this. We're not really talking much of anything, but ultimately, I do feel a difference. I'm not going to lie to you. It does feel like passes are a little bit more responsive. The gameplay does feel a little bit snappier. It is a little bit more fluid, but I don't know whether it's down to the update or whether it's down to the lack of people playing the game right now. The ultimate test, unfortunately, is going to be in September when FIFA 20 drops. But for right now, if your argument and your problem with the game was lack of responsiveness, it's actually a good time to play the game right now. And why not jump on and let me know what you think of it in the comment section down below. If you have enjoyed this video, smack that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.